Hello, it's original MaRul, and welcome back for some more FTB Interactions Remastered. Didn't notice I was having an issue. I started recording. So I will get into what happened after the last VOD episode segment. Okay, there we go. I'm on screen correctly. Um, so when at the end of the last stream, well, I went on to fix it. So basically, what happened is there was a rendering error with the Mighty Ender Chickens. When I loaded into this dimension, it was causing so much lag trying to render their attacks that the software or the company I use for hosting web servers has a failsafe that says when the server is experiencing too much lag, do a restart. Basically, what we're hitting. When I tried to render on the client side, it was causing so much lag for me and the server that it was shutting down. Eventually, after enough restarts, I was able to get on because every time it seemed like it was getting better. But when I finally was able to get over here, all the mighty ender chickens were outside the force field because power. But I don't think that caused the issue. I think it still was a rendering issue, so I believe it was the mod itself. So I don't know what I'm going to do for a workaround just yet. But I'm probably done using ender chickens themselves and maybe just come up with some sort of rule that will say I only get a certain amount of. I was thinking like maybe a stack of tiny every every stream. Oh, that's all going to disappear. I get it doesn't cascade. Close to doing that. Um, yeah. Sadly, I can't move them, and it's hard to control them, and they destroy blocks. That's why you need the force field. The antimatter destroys blocks. That's why you have to keep it away. Sadly, I think this is kind of the worst part of this pack is the ender chickens. Oh, that didn't even go that far. So have to play around with that. But basically, I just had to come on and take them out, and that's all that happened. And then I stopped the stream. Um, so I'll have to work on that. There is once you have enough, I believe the other way is to just get the infinity chickens and get neutronium that way. But the ender chickens, solving the ender chickens with antimatter is the only way to get it in normal progression. Yeah, because I don't even have that much. Because yeah, I made way more than a stack that one day I ran it. How much do I actually need for the... I don't need catalyst. And I only need 8 blocks for the infinity chicken. Problem is the infinity ingots. Also need 2 blocks per. I mean, once I get one, I pretty much have infinite. Because you can just liquid antimatter. And the problem is with the mighty ender chicken itself, so that's why I'm planning to do a workaround, because I can't really trust that it's always not going to cause that issue. Sad to say. But I will cross that bridge when I come to it. Or out of fuel. Last time we did also play around with other power gen. Up with biodiesel. I know I probably ate through it all, but definitely biomass. Just speed. Oh no, it's out of sodium hydroxide. Because that's what you need to catalyze the ethanol and seed oil into biodiesel. But I was debating going back to oil now that I can produce it. Yeah, so no more biodiesel produced. That means pretty much the old base is worthless. That. Really, I just need to keep bringing over stuff. Um, want to do... Hmm. idle because it doesn't have wood. Not being produced because there's fertilizer, and there's no fertilizer because we're out of appetite. If I remember correctly. Get heavy oil back up and running. I need a subnet ring. I basically need a ring that pulls right off the subnet controller. Because I was playing around with the idea of starting to use wireless connectors, especially in the cubes. Oil production down here. I need this connected to the main system. Pull a new off this. Do that. Where's the storage bus? Oh, that is where I had the other system. I didn't want to remove everything. I want to do this, but I want to set it to extract only. There's appetite. Now I can tell it just pulverized for appetite dust. Oh, you can also... Okay, you can't. Interesting. I was just trying to think if there's... Because right now I'm using... I need to use the charcoal powder from... Basically, the production's a loop, and I don't like that. Because it means I have to have wood on hand for the production to actually not stall. Right now, there is a condition that the production can stall out. Yeah, sap's still an issue, but to work around that actually. Not the only way. Rich slag. Crude steel or pulped bioblend. Sludge byproduct. And pulped bioblend is also a yeah, it's also a sludge byproduct. Crude steel is the only thing that's not. That is rather renewable. That's funny. Turning crude steel just into fertilizer. But I mean, I do need the creosote oil. My only worry is having enough for both heavy diesel or heavy fuel and having enough wood for both heavy fuel and fertilizer. I could make this one step better. Trade off 18 pieces of wood. First 12. So you get another 6. I don't think really that much of an improvement. Where regular to rich is a quite better improvement because that's doubled. I mean, I guess each level adds 6, but it feels a lot more when you're only getting 6 to start with. The only other alternative is the tree beacon, which I think causes a lag because you have to drop stuff in the world. Okay. We like this. I would just have to make more fuel for it. Fuels, ethanol, octane fuel. Gasoline, raw gasoline, binary gas, naphtha, acetone, ethanol. Turns a bunch of naphtha into gasoline. But 2 millibuckets of octane per quarter of a second. So 5 ticks. So that's 5 ticks. 500 ticks. Trying to think of fuel source conversions. Like the quadratic fuel is insane because it lasts so long. But quantity has a quality all of its own. That would be or no, sorry. Double. No, 4 times. Be 120. There was like an easy conversion calculator. Okay, so 30. I did bring up a calculator. 480. That puts us up to HV. Wanting to run this at EV. Why? That's literally what that is. Okay. My need is actually how long this runs. So it's halved every time. So to make a bucket of octane through a matter replicator, it would take, or no, I did that conversion wrong. Damn it. No, it is, okay, so it's, I need to stop doing that. 240, halved, halved, halved. So 30 seconds. And a bucket would run a processing at EV. So we're saying I'm matter replicating at EV. A bucket of octane would run for 500 ticks, would run for 25 seconds. Right? Hmm. Get my hands on a bucket of not a good fuel source, but I think I can make a lot of it really cheap. I might not have to go. Technically, a liter of ethanol runs long. How does this run on ethanol? Hmm. Do ethanol. Okay, so if I take the USB sticks. Oh, I forgot I was gonna. So, because of what happened last stream, I didn't request more rotors to be made yet. Well, if I can just do this, I might just bypass that altogether. Fermented biomass. I mean, there are other ways to make. Botania leaves. There is a biochaff recipe. That does make a lot of biomass. Great. Biomass. Methane, methanol, or acid. Ran in combustion. Oh, you can also Also use it to make biodiesel. Yeah, raw gasoline. Just in case. Yeah, I'm now back to producing more wood than that needs, so this should fill back up with birch, and hopefully this runs out of sap. Should work fine. That should be heavy oil back up and running for now. Saturates everything. The oil. Back up. That's the only way to clean up sulfur from fuel. Trying to think if there's any other stuff. Sorry. Overwhelmed. Had to look up some. Had to look for something. Let's see. All just running EV. Right now, that's the pump. I don't really much. Trying to work out better fuel sources now that I know that this produces a decent amount of power for my current demand. I could go the easy route, or I could go the actual production route. Or no, I'm running it through the vacuum freezer. Yeah, so in its spare time, the vacuum freezer is making liquid oxygen. So no, actually, The only thing that isn't renewable is lubricant. But I'm making that as a byproduct of fertilizer or phytogrow because I have to make charcoal for phytogrow. But right now I'm using charcoal that's a lot. But it's taking me a sec to math through everything. I'm trying to make sure I have enough power to run a bunch of assembly lines. Because assembly lines are going to actually cost. Yep, birchwood's up. For how to spell birch. Sapling in here so it can overflow. Yeah, I want it to go here instead of here. Get a lower priority. Yeah, so that's now useless. That was biodiesel. But it would be nice to still get all the ethanol. Fastest way to do that. That still takes a second is the problem. Use an import bus. I'd just be using an interface. Out for a dual interface. Higher throughput. Also handle fluids. I'm wondering if I take this. Oh, we gotta take a break here and then we'll be back. Alright. Figure out this. So I'm gonna go pull. I want to at least go pull all the ethanol faster. If I can just pull all the ethanol that's being produced over here. that one. I just do that. Can't pull directly. I can just do this. I think I'm using SAP that fast. Using a ton of plant over here. I just change up how I'm making the biomass. I would be producing a ton. That's the thing. Don't really. At a certain point, like efficiency, fuel efficiency plus quantity equals just a, an amount of energy production that just is good enough. Or at least for now. To turn off that. And this is where I might need dedicated channels. Because if this fills up with ethanol, I might not be able to get anything else into. So I might need a dedicated interface for ethanol intake. Kind of like what I was doing with water. Yeah, we'll see how it reacts. Yeah, this by itself is keeping up with light demand. Right. Got that stuff all shaped up a little better. I'm going to take this coin ring and actually repurpose it. For now. Like sever this. What does actually show up? There's a trickle liquid starlight from the magic base. But like goes up. And glitter is running, right? Yeah. That means all the other fluids are drained. Like nothing, and no other items are showing up. Like if I take out that, nothing's gonna go up. Like this, I think I'm done with. That's tools. Fine. These in here for now. I literally just do this and put the ring on it. I had to sneeze. Then I could just have subset or 24 channels of subnet going into Cube if I set it up. Here's ring parts. I just where's the chamber? I'm looking right at them, and again, because they're just a... There it is, yeah. They're just little cubes. I keep I'm losing track of them. Put a chamber there. I'm going to leave the chamber over here. I'll just make a new ring. But I want the paired singularity since those are hard to make still. And I can use a wireless connection over there. I don't have to use a ring. Not going cross-dimensional. Actually, yeah, I don't need the ring at all. Me not realizing what I just said. I still gotta figure this thing out. All doesn't need to be here. Basically gonna take this cube. Oh, it's still got a tank in it. I'll move that. I'm just gonna set it up here so I know where it is. The old redstone cube. Now it's empty. There. That always trips me up is which ones you can connect to. It connects. Oh, that's a provider plug. Or that's a sender plug, not a provider. Yeah, no, it has power. Now I've got 24 channels of subnet coming into the inside of a compact machine. And from here, I should be able to use the wireless connectors to other compact machines. Using this cube as a source. This is basically my ME cube. I'd still like to have some ability to compact stuff. Move it around if I need to. Yeah, now this is connected to that. And actually, do this. Let's grab in here. I'm setting this up. Got my wireless connection tool. 4 wireless connectors. I need at least 1 dense cable. Connect right away. Yes, the connected dense. Like connect these. Let's see. Do I have any signs though? Okay, so connect this one to item drives. Now if I go here, that changes a lot. Make sure I have that completely changes how I was thinking about doing all this. And yet another P set up. I guess let's go with green. That green, but fine. Mm-hmm. A new set of these. Doesn't like that. New subnet or new, yeah, subnet. I think I got everything, so I'm going to disconnect this for a bit. P to P. Connected. Need to have power on this side? Good. Oh, is there... It's distance. See, this is why I wanted to test this out. Yeah, so it looks like there's a distance cost. Right. Guessing this is eating all my power right now. Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so that does not work unless I've got just this. Oh, this is where creative cells would come in play. Hmm. Okay, so there is a distance cost. And I think you can only connect one, which is fine. Because that's a thing about these compact machine cubes is they are very far apart from each other. Like depending on which one you go to, they're like 1,000 blocks apart. Can work, but I do need like creative power. Only thing is the block of infinity. We can draconium. Well, I at least got a new P2P channel set up. Yeah, this is kind of jank, but eh. Counting process there. Maintainers. And I could also put the lazy AE mass fabricator in there. I would at least clean stuff up, but we'll see. Okay, you're paused. You're running. Okay, that's just because having multiple machines trying to light up the same block seemed to be having a bit of an issue. And all. I must have. I bet it all came over. Yeah, I've completely got all the ethanol. You only get a little more for going Pyrolos oven over brewing machine. Aren't even getting used at all. Five. Every bucket of oil, I get 10 buckets of empowered oil. It's almost double to diesel. Spike it with a bit of tetramethane. Nitromethane to make it cane boosted. Cool. Starlight. 1-to-1 nitro. Touch of enriched naquita and 1 to quadriatic fuel. Best fuel in the game. That's when you want to run it through the LUV generator. I mean, I'm probably going to produce LUV or LUV or quadriatic fuel for LUV production. Just sucking down ethanol seems really cheap right now. And I mean, it sucks down a lot. But I mean, it doesn't. I think liquid oxygen and lubricant all run on their own clock, so it's really just whatever fuel I can dump in here. I can definitely be running more. So yeah, now I guess just with that setting up, because now I'm producing almost too much idle until I run out of ethanol. But I've got a lot of ethanol. Uses for glycerol. I mean, I know I need it for epichloridian. Now, I got some. I do have to be careful. I'm not producing it right now. So I need the assembly line. Oh, that was from when I disconnected it. While I was messing around with the wireless. Oh, everything actually drive? Well, that's good to know. Yeah, nothing should have gone in there, so everything should have gone into drives. I don't think I have a item storage bus anywhere that's set to output. As far as I know. All that. Because if I sort, since I know how big all my drives are, if I sort by number, I can easily check if any of my drives are going to overflow. Aqua or getting. Oh, probably because it's not set up. I need to come up with a better way for this. There we go. Now that should all get processed. I need to get to NACWA coil blocks, which needs assembly, which needs robot arms, which needs assembly line setup. Specifically 9 ports. I was making the ports, but then don't really need ones that are that nice. Or I'm just sitting on. Lost my train of thought and now I can't remember. Go with LB. Is to set up the assembly line it needs to have to set up an assembly line for 9 ports, I need to have 10. And that's... They really only need to have 1 slot each, but that works. I'm going to run a couple recipes through it. Did I get the... Yet. No. I have the assembly line. Okay, for each slice no matter, yeah. So I've got the ports for energy. What level do I add for like this stuff? IV, I'm guessing it's all just IV. Yeah, so it has to be run at IV, so I need at least an IV energy hatch. Started. Double the amount of laminated glass. 18 glass. table. There. Filled up. There's the input and output ports for that. I was thinking about using a quad port for this. No, being worked on. So there's items, fluids, power. Class is being worked on. 9 of these. Right? Slices. Or no, I need 10. Right? Because you need... Yeah, the last slice is your output. So I do need 10. I need 10 slices. The data access hatch. I do need to set up even more crafting CPU. Yeah. Any automatic crafting going on for me right now. Glass got done. Snag that before I make anything that uses it. Touch. I need slices times 2 minus 2. So 20, I need 18. Great machine case. What's interesting is I am basically using every tech level to make an assembly line. IV, EV quad fluid port, LV item ports. IV. And then this takes MV parts. Yeah, I think I'm going to put set up a new set of crafting CPUs in there. Not P2P. This will also just double check that this works. Yep, now that should be one. Processors. Yeah, I'll order up some more parts for that. But basically just hang them from the ceiling in there. And then I can move all those. Oh, we do have to go to break here, and then we'll be back.